everyone. So I am back with another Leetcode problem, and today we are going to solve an easy problem which is called find pivot index. Every time I make a video, I tell that there are 3 steps to solving any coding problem. The first one is to figure out what the question is and carefully read the instructions given in the question. So basically, over here, for example, this is the question given to us and these are the examples. So we need to read the question carefully and understand what it is telling us to do and what is the outcome that it requires from us. Then we go through the examples and understand with the help of an example what exactly we should be doing so that we can come up with a solution. The second step is to come up with an algorithm based on the questions that we have understood. And the third step and the final step in the process is to convert that algorithm into solid code. Let's begin. The first step that we're going to do here is read the question carefully. And approach to solving any problem has always been to talk out the problem loud. Like even when I'm making this video, I'm able to talk to you about what is going inside my head while I am solving this problem, exact things that are going, because whenever you are like appearing for an interview, the interviewer wants to know what is going inside your head, because if you are not able to come up with a solution and if you are going the wrong way, so the interviewer going to step in to help you, because he or she will know what your approach for a problem is. He or she will make sure that you are able to understand the problem nicely. So it is very important to talk your mind out and engage in a communicative approach so that you're able to come up to the solution. No problem is difficult, it's just about the communication. So let's begin reading this question. So we have been given an array of integers, nums, and we have to write a method that returns pivot index of this array. We define the pivot index as the index where the sum of all the numbers to the left of the index is equal to the sum of all the numbers to the right of the index. If no such index exists, we should return -1. If there are multiple pivot indexes, you should return the leftmost pivot index. Okay, well, this was like difficult to understand, difficult to comprehend. The question might be difficult to comprehend, but let me explain you this by the help of this example. So over here we have this nums, okay, and basically we are going to loop through the entire array to see what we have to do. So when you look at 1, 7, 3, add these 3 together, 11. You come up with 11. 6, go on to 5 and 6, add these 2 together, you come up. So answer is going to be this, because the left sum, that is 11, is equal to the right sum, which is again 11. So we want to answer this. We want to return the index of this, index. Okay, let's not do this. We want to return the index of 6, which here is 0, 1, 2, and 3. 3 should be our answer over here. So how are we going to approach this problem? So first thing that we know is that we have to loop through the entire array. That is the first thing that we should be, like always in any array problem, you should be knowing that you have to loop through the entire array. Okay, so let us use two of the basic variables. Let's call one of them left sum and the second one sum. Why am I doing this? Left sum is basically like we need the right sum as well. So if I take the entire sum of the entire array at once, then say that, you know what, my right sum is going to be the total sum minus left sum minus the variable. Okay. If I do this, I think only then will I be able to compare the left sum and the right sum. So let's initialize this to 0 as well. We can say that int left sum equals to 0, sum equals to 0 as well. Both of these will be the condition. Okay. Then I can say, I can use a loop, I can use a for loop to say that, you know what, I want to, every time I encounter, you know, a new element, I want to, you know, add that element to a particular variable, that is sum, and increment it by adding it to the variable. So I'm going to say, I'm going to use the for each variable for this, and then I will be saying sum. Okay, wait a second. Yeah, so I will then say that sum equals to, sum plus equals to num. Okay, what will happen over here, that each time I encounter a new element, that element's value get added into the sum variable. Okay, then again we are going to use another loop to basically run through, you know, I'm not going to write this over here, write this when I code it in reality when I go to the Leetcode platform, but I'm just writing this over here so that you understand that we are going to run the loop from beginning till the end, and then we are going to check if a condition is true. Now what is that condition that we want to be true? We want to check if left sum is equal to sum minus left sum minus index. And what is this? This is the right sum over here. Okay, this, exactly this. And then if this is the case, we want to return something. What do we want to return? We want to return the index of the variable, the index of the element that we are at right now. And every time this loop gets completed, we want to move out of this loop and come to this for loop and say that, you know, increment the value of left sum. How do we increment? We will say that, you know, add the value of the current element to that, so that every time we move, like over here for the first iteration be 1, sum is going to be 1, basically 0, but to begin at 0, but when we move from here to here, it'll be 1, then it'll be 8, then it'll be 11, so on, so, and so on. So it has to like keep increasing its value by adding every encounters on its way. And if this is not the case, we come out of this loop and we return. If we do not meet any of the pivot elements like this, we will return -1. So that is going to be our algorithm. And now I think we should move on to coding the solution. So we will begin by saying that, you know what, I want sum equals to 0. I want left sum, again, another variable, equals to 0. And then I'm going to use the for each loop to say that int num in, you know, every element in the nums array, for every element in the nums array, I am going to do sum plus equals to num. Okay, now we're going to use another for loop to say that int I equals to 0, I is less than nums dot increment I. Okay, and then we're going to put a condition saying left sum, if left sum equals sum minus left sum minus nums I, we are going to return that particular index, and if soon after that we are going to increase the value of left sum, and that we're going to do by saying that, you know, left sum plus equals to sums I. And when we do that, this basically means that left sum equals to left sum plus I, because every time we increment that, we mean exactly that. Okay? And if all of this is not true, if we do not have any pivot element in this nums array which is returning, you know, in which the left sum is equal to the right sum, we are going to return -1. Okay, so let's run the code and check if it is running well. Yes, our output is as expected. Then let us submit it. Okay, so the runtime is 1 millisecond. It's faster than 100% of Java Online submissions. That is pretty good. I tell you every time that in case there is something wrong in the problem that you encounter that you want to check, basically if you know how to code but you're not able to, like, if you are coding and you encounter a solution that is being like given by someone else discussion forum, and you're not able to understand that problem, you can simply copy the problem and paste here and, you know, run the debugger at every single step. Debugger is here, you know, when you run the code. It's right here. This. I have lost my subscription, but anyway, the debugger will help you to understand your code better, and that is the reason I tell you to debug your code every time you run it. So this was another problem, Leetcode problem, and I will be making up more soon. Stay tuned for more. Thank you.